Hey, so I talked about it once on here and now the people demand more. So I'm going to be talking about it in a video today. That's right, we're talking about the badass factor, folks. Or more so specifically, anime characters rankings on it. What's up, low-hanging fruit? It's DISCALIMER, aka Straight Shooter McGavin. Go ahead and drop a like right now if you get that reference. I am owed. So as I've already mentioned, today in this video we're going to be touching on the badass factor, a concept that I created way back like a month ago in my very first video. If you already know, you know. But for those who don't, the badass factor is actually more of a spectrum with two sides to it. One being complete dumbass, the other side being cringe master. And as all of you know from my very first video, the perfect character can balance right on the middle of this spectrum, which is of course virtually impossible unless you're the king. You may bow now. But of course, as much as I love Luffy, I've already done an in-depth, very personal to my heart video about the king himself, which you can go check out on the channel. But right now we're here to talk about other characters on the badass factor. We will be focusing on other anime characters and their MC energy. MC, of course, meaning main character. Duh. So just to be clear, I will only be covering anime that I've actually watched myself. I do have a very big discography of, would it be discography or filmography in this case? Doesn't matter. I have a big Rolodex of anime that I have watched in my lifetime, but unfortunately I haven't been able to catch all of the greats that I've been hearing so much about. Just for example, I haven't caught Fire Force yet, haven't started Black Clover yet. These are ones I'm looking forward to, but haven't gotten around to as of yet. Sorry. But actually this is a nice excuse that I've been looking forward to interacting with you all more on social media. You can go ahead and pop over there, tell me which ones I need to get right on top of. For this video, we are getting more in depth with the badass factor / spectrum, so we need to break it down and understand it a little more. We will be doing number ranking for the complete dumbass side of the spectrum, with 1 being the least dumb and 10 being Goku, let's be honest. And we will be doing letter ranking for the cringe master side. A being the least awkward person that you would want to grab a drink with, and J being the person you wouldn't even want to be seen on Earth with. And just to get this out the way now, folks, I guarantee you, nobody is falling in the middle except for one person, and that's why he has king status. So don't even worry about what the medal looks like. So with the variety of anime and anime characters out there and all the ones I've watched and I know, it would be pretty difficult to just pick a couple of random ones. So I've actually found this very nifty website called generatormix.com that actually generates a bunch of different things. Anime characters just happens to be one of the categories, thankfully. So I will be using that to auto select which anime characters I will be covering today. We're going to be doing about 5 to 10 characters depending on what it looks like and how I feel, really. So let's get into it. All right, so this is the website, generatormix.com. You know, like I said, just a nifty little random generator. It actually has multiple different things you can generate. We're using it more specifically for random anime characters. So let's get it cracking. So this is Wendy Marvell. You know, we're not doing that because that picture is ridiculous. Like, why are they using a drawing instead of an actual picture from the anime of Wendy? She's from Dragon Tail, if you don't know. I'm not doing her. She doesn't count. Okay, this is better. All right, so we got my boy Meliodas, main character from the 7 Deadly Sins. Meliodas is the leader of the 7 Deadly Sins. He is a demon himself. I got all the way to, I believe, season 4, so I do know a fair amount of what's going on in the anime, and it's pretty crazy. I think the anime is over now, but yeah, for the most part, Meliodas has done nothing but kick major ass and just been a monster at what he does in the anime. I personally love him for his sense of humor, of course his comedic effect. That's a big winner over for me, especially when you're dealing with main characters. I know that a lot of people do not like 7 Deadly Sins' animation style, which is fine, but we're not really here for that. We're more so here for Meliodas himself, who is very pervy. I don't know, like, depending on who you are, that could be your thing, could not be your thing. I'm not here to judge. I'm only here to give my own opinion and judge. So first things first, we need to decide which side of the spectrum does Meliodas fall on. To be honest with you, it is a lot of back and forth with Meliodas. He's like Naruto in a sense, where he slides on the scale a lot, but never lands perfectly in the middle, because he is sometimes cringy, but that's really only with the pervy stuff. More so than that though, he lands on the dumbass side of the spectrum. I know a lot of people who actually do like Meliodas, they will actually come to his defense and say he does the complete dumbass routine on purpose. Nonetheless, still a dumbass. So for Meliodas, we're actually going to go ahead and put him at the dumbass side on ranking 2. Not too dumb, not all the way there at the same time. All right, moving on. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We got Alucard. Let's go. If you don't know, this is Alucard. This is the version of Alucard from the Netflix animated show Castlevania rocked and rolled for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. Alucard, of course, being the son of Dracula, half human, half vampire, has been rocking every medium from video games to animated shows since like the 90s. So I do love every single iteration of Alucard. This one being hands down my favorite. Then him getting his own story in this, him becoming his own character in this, has been a joy to watch. Obviously, he would fall more to the cringe master side, of course, being more of a slick, smooth, suave type of guy. He's, of course, never portrayed any signs of dumbassery. Of course, a little bit of humor always goes a long way with me, so that always helps. His dialogue actually can become a bit cringy at times. Even in the show itself, he speaks with an old-timey accent. And, you know, it does make sense. Of course, he's centuries old, duh. So with that being said, Alucard is going to fall on the cringe master side, and I'd give him about a ranking B. I want to say B. So we're going to go with B. You know, second to the lowest. Not too bad, not too bad. On to the next one. All right, we got Kuru Hidachin. Hidachin. Sorry, I don't know who this is. I do want to take the wildest guess and say he's from, what's that one thing? Oharu? Ruha? Schmackaduka High School Club? Something like that. I feel like he is from that. Let me know if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm pretty sure he's one of the twins, maybe. Let me know. Next one. Lelouch v. Britannia. Always butcher the last name. Whatever. So of course we all know and love Lelouch. It's been at least a decade, if not more. It's been a decade and a half, I want to even dare say, showing my age here, since I've seen Code Geass, and I take a gander at most of you as well. Wow, it's just like one of those classics, you know, and Lelouch is one of my first ventures into an anti-hero. With that being said, this man has never shown an ounce of being a dumbass, so he has no place on that side of the spectrum, obviously. But being a high schooler definitely gave his cringe factor even more. So I feel like if Lelouch was a grown man, it wouldn't be as cringy, but something about him being a high school boy makes it even more awkward, the way he went about things, the way he did things, and the way he delivered lines. It just seemed so, not so unrealistic, but somewhat, a little bit, just a tad bit unrealistic. Lelouch, definitely a prince of suspense in anime, I'll give him that. So Lelouch is going to be on the cringe master side at a solid G ranking. Next one. Oh heavens me. Alex Louis Armstrong. I didn't know his first name was Alex. Anywho, Louis Armstrong himself, I want to say general, but I think I'm wrong. I think it's captain. You know what? If I don't know the rank, I'm just going to say I don't know the rank. Had to look it up. If it isn't Major Alex Louis Armstrong himself, one of the most dedicated, badass fucking characters in Full Metal Alchemist. Armstrong is obviously, without a doubt, one of the best characters from Full Metal Alchemist. I can't think of anybody who hated Armstrong. If you do, you're literally doing it just to be different. Like, and you ain't gotta be this way. Nobody asked you to be this way, so you don't have to be. It's like, this is a man who wasn't scared to show his feelings, but also you knew if you made fun of him for it, you get your goddamn block knocked off. And he also encouraged others, especially men, to share their feelings and flex their muscles as well. But I will say he sticks more to the cringe master side of it. I would say he slips into the dumbass side of the factor from time to time, because a lot of his humor is derived from that side of the spectrum. So for Armstrong, we're gonna throw him on the cringe master side, because when he does do his flexing, even though we love it, it is very cringy to say the least. And we're gonna throw him at a ranking of about a C. Let's say C. Nope, let's go D. Let's go D ranking for my man Armstrong. Love you, Armstrong. Next, how the hell we get Lelouch again? Out of the thousands of characters, how'd you get back to Lelouch? Next, Kushina Uzumaki. I also do not like this. Why don't they just get the anime picture from the actual show? Instead, they take these freaking fan-drawn pictures, which, like, come on now. I'm not doing Kushina just for the fact that it's a drawn picture instead of a picture of her from the show. Next, come on, son. Come on, son. Trunks. It's Trunks we're talking about here. Trunks is just oozing bad boy energy. Like, this is a teenager who definitely went through his puberty way too early. That being said, Trunks was 100% the coolest thing to step out of a time machine back in 2000s. And not to mention, my man came in with the drip. You catch the boots? Are you catching the boots? As we know, this is the Trunks from the initial one anyway. After being in the past with the DBZ fighters that we know, Trunks, of course, trains up, becomes one of the most powerful beings on Earth, hands down. Goes on to unlock his Super Saiyan mode, where he goes back to the future, defeats the droids that are in his timeline still, and becomes the hero of his timeline. With all that being said, Trunks definitely falls on the cringe master side, being more serious than dumb, really. At a good old ranking of about a C, we're gonna place him at a C for sure. Let's get another one in there. Sai from Naruto Shippuden, to be more exact, was a part of Team 7, but undercover, he was actually a part of Root. Root being a subdivision training Anbu Black Ops team, basically, for the Hidden Leaf Village. Secretly under command of Bullshitter Danzo. Just one of the most despicable characters in all of anime. So Sai, upon initial introduction, was a bit of a Sasuke stand-in, really. At least that's how most of the community felt about this guy. I never really felt any really sort of way about the albino wonder over here, but I don't know. It's like, I've never liked characters who didn't display emotion, who had a blank canvas of a face on all the time. It's just like, it never gave me any joy unless they were doing deadpan comedy. So that obviously puts Sai on the cringe master side of the spectrum at a good ranking I. One of the highest ones, obviously, because this guy is nothing but cringe. Even afterwards, when he's in Naruto Shippuden, after a while, he just kind of becomes a guy who's there, to be honest with you, unfortunately. Let's get one more in there. This is a good one. Rin Okumura from Blue Exorcist. Definitely an underrated anime for sure. I really loved Blue Exorcist. I actually loved reading Blue Exorcist. It had one of those concepts where it was good on paper just as much as it is in the anime. So Rin is, of course, one of my favorite types of main characters. Quirky, humorous, go-getter. Hands down, always the best type of anime main characters. The fact that he uses a special magic sword has always been one of my biggest pluses for him as a character. I wish Luffy used the sword sometime, but then he knocks somebody out, and then I'm like, I'm so happy he uses his fist. But back to Rin, being the quirky, lovable guy he is, he does fall on the complete dumbass side of the spectrum, obviously. And if you ever watch the anime, or hopefully you will after this at least, you will know and or see how dumb he can truly be. But of course, that dumbness is with love. So with that being said, Rin is on the complete dumbass side of the spectrum at a solid 4. I'll give him a 4. But if I give him 4, I have to give him more. I don't even know what that was just now. So that was actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And I'm very happy that I did this one. And of course, I am completely, without a doubt, confident in every single decision I've made here today in this video. Without a doubt. Well, folks, that has been fun. It has been a pleasure. And of course, if you don't agree with any of my decisions today, you know where to find me. On Twitter and on IG at IBFamousWDS in the description below, of course. Come follow me for more content just like this on nerd culture. And if we get this video up to about 50, 100 likes, I would be more than happy to do a part 2 to this with more characters. Because of course, there are literally thousands of anime characters we can get to. We only touch the tip of the iceberg, if that, in this one. So be sure to like, comment, all that. It does help a ton, of course. And be sure to share this video on your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever. I'm still growing. I'm a beginner channel, so I need as much exposure as possible. So any little bit helps. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. That's pretty much it. Future Dwight, play me out.